So for this video, what I'm going to talk about are some of our Friday subjects. Fridays are days that are a little more chill for us, and we cover things like health, life skills, safety, and nature study. Nature study is probably our heaviest thing that we cover, and it's not heavy at all, but it's what we spend a lot of time on. And so today I'm going to walk you through some what we're going to do for safety, and then some of the stuff for nature study that we're going to do, and talk to you a little bit about how plans might change for nature study for us. Okay, so for safety, I got this unit from The Good and the Beautiful, and it goes through what is safety, fire safety, water safety, electricity safety, natural disaster safety, God gave me a body, safe at home alone, kitchen safety, technology, media, and peer pressure, and gun safety. So that's what's in this curriculum. So you get the supplies that you need, lesson extensions for if you're teaching it to older grades, vocabulary, let's see what a lesson looks like. So this is what lesson 1 looks like. Then it goes into lesson 2. And then this also has a student journal that would go with it. So this looks like it might be for the younger side, but there's some stuff in here that you could probably beef up or would be fitting for an older kid. So this is what we have for safety. I might find some more pieces to add to it. We'll see. I'm going to take a little bit deeper dive into this before I make that decision. But this is at least a starting point for us for safety. Friday is also a day where we touch on mental health in our health block. And so there's some things like some workbooks that we have that I don't know where we're going to be next year, because we're probably going to continue from this year, and so I don't have those in this video. When we actually do wrap up our 4th grade year, I might do another video or a follow-up with the pieces that will be added that we will carry over from this year into next year. But for this video, we're just going to be looking at safety and some of our nature study stuff. Okay, this isn't nature study, but this is something that I kind of combine in my mind, nature study and all things seasonal and like holidays. Like those are all under an umbrella in my mind when I'm doing my planning. And so one of the things that I've been doing for my daughter since she was really young is these morning basket books that go with whatever season we're in. And I have 2 versions of these. I created these. So I created a version for when she was younger. It was 6 to 8. And then versions for when she's older. And that's what these are going to be that she's using this year. So the first one is for September. So when school's starting, we have the apple theme for the beginning of school. So this says, welcome to Autumn Escapades. Embrace the changing seasons and capture the essence of September through creative exploration. What you will find in this book is an undated calendar, journal prompts, doodle prompts, coloring pages, word searches, reading logs, etc. Now, my daughter is a very artistic person. She definitely leans more that way when it comes to subjects. And so I kind of had that in mind when these were being created. I started it off with the poem to help remember how many days are in the months. That way, when she's completing the calendar, she knows September has 30 days. Then September happenings, so a little bit of information talking about Labor Day and the autumnal equinox. Then a birthday list. And then this is where she would start drawing and stuff. So a few of my favorite things. So favorite foods, favorite activities. So there's a few pages of these. And then some coloring pages. Sometimes there'll be like a little fact about the stuff on there. Oh, she already colored. Oh yeah, because we started playing with this last year to test it out. Create a fall color wheel. Then we have the doodle duet. So she starts to draw, and then either myself or her dad will finish the drawing, or she could even get all three of us on there if she really wanted to. But whoever partakes would write their name down on the artist section. So there's a couple different versions or prompts when it comes to these. Then we have some word searches. Then we have just some drawing prompts. Oh, these are collage prompts. So prompts for collages. Fun facts and quotes. Some journal pages. Weather tracker and some areas for her to insert some photos, reading log, and some more, a few of my favorite things, but these are more like capturing favorite memories, new ones that she made this year. And then just a little quote at the end. So these I have in multiple variations. We have one for Halloween, and they all have very similar layout, and I do like to see what she does and how they change, how her favorite things change, how her handwriting and her drawings improve every year. It's really fun to compare. So same thing, October, same, they always have like the same format, they're just like themed. Then we have November, it's gonna be more geared towards Thanksgiving. November happenings, those always change. Then we have December, which is going to be more geared towards Christmas. But because it's December, it's not specifically Christmas like the other one is specific Halloween. I do have other December holidays in here. So then we have our nature study notebook. This is just super simple, half lined, half an area to either draw, paint, or what we usually do is, because we do a lot of watercolors, we'll just watercolor and then tape them in here so we don't ruin the paper. This is a book that we have, Celestial Watercolor. So I'm going to be using this for science and nature study. Late and my brain's not working. I'm trying to remember what we were using it for. I think for science, we have something where we're going over the moon phases, and I think we're going to be watercoloring the moon from in here. And there's just like different moons, the strawberry moon. And then for nature study, we'll be watercoloring the different seasons. Okay, these I have double copy in here because I do a copy for her and a copy for myself because we do nature study together. And these I got from The Good and the Beautiful, and I bound them separately. So there's one for every season. And I actually, these aren't just The Good and the Beautiful. Actually, I kind of created a hodgepodge of stuff in here. So there's some stuff from The Good and the Beautiful. This is from The Good and the Beautiful. This is all just talking about like summer. And then this is from Treehouse Schoolhouse. Nature, this is The Good and the Beautiful. Summer Poetry, Good and Beautiful. And then this is For the Love of Homeschooling. And so I collect a lot of curriculum and resources along the way. And so often I'll find myself piecing stuff together. So I'm not going to flip through the entire thing. Unless you want me to, put it in the comments and maybe I'll do a longer video on these. But again, I did one for her and one for myself, so we can do them together. Fall. Okay, so for fall, okay, this is where we're talking about the moons. So we are starting with the harvest moon. And so we'll be water coloring the moons. And then also, you know, this will be during the time of Halloween. We are a big holiday family in this house, so all things spooky. Then we have a Macbeth poem, ghost stories. Some pumpkin stuff. But yeah, so these are just things I piecemeal together. And then winter, I still need to piece together some more stuff for winter, but towards the very end of winter, if you garden, you probably already know, at least in our area, if you want to grow tomatoes or peppers, you start the seeds in December or between December and February. You're usually starting to plant in December and you're starting the seeds indoor during that time frame. So it seems kind of crazy to be, you know, talking about maybe spring and gardening at the end of winter, but really you need to start preparing that early. So that's when we'll start getting into our gardening stuff. And then spring will be heavy gardening stuff, a lot of gardening content where I've pulled pieces from a lot of different areas. And then this is one of the books that we'll use as a resource while we're doing our stuff. Let's see, specifically this area right here, seasons. So what causes the seasons, measuring seasons, and then it goes into each season. So let's look at 66. This is a really pretty book. Oh, here's winter, spring, summer, and fall. So this is what we have for nature study and safety, which are part of our Friday lessons. Now, one thing that might change is Beautiful Feet just came out with a new nature study, or it hasn't come out yet. They just released like a little sneak peek teaser that they're gonna come out with a new nature study unit. That's what we use this year, is Beautiful Feet Seasons of Field, I think it's called. And they just put out a teaser saying they're releasing a new nature study unit that is for an older age group, and I think it's called Afar Afield. I could be totally wrong about that, but just Google beautiful feet, look them up. I highly recommend their nature study. We absolutely love their nature study. So we'll still probably use what I already have pulled together, but there is a very, very high chance that we will get that curriculum and use that curriculum as well. So if we do get it, then I will definitely get a video out on it for sure to share that with you guys. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and until I get the next video up, bye.